All right. Well, hi, everyone. Welcome to the Million Mom Movement community. My name is Dominique Jeffries. I have been a brand partner with Purium for 5 years, and I am a Green Diamond leader. I'm joined tonight with my fellow council member, Naiva Flory. She is actually one of our founding council members. She has been a brand partner with Purium for over 10 years and just has a wealth of knowledge and experience. And I just love collaborating with her every week to share with you guys the blessing that we have with this community. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time or are guests, I'd like to just first acknowledge who we are as a community, as a movement, and what exactly the mom within Million Mom Movement stands for, right? So Million Mom Movement, the mom actually stands for for movement of many. And I'm going to share my screen and just show you our mission statement, because I think a lot of people, when they hear mom, they automatically think that you have to be a mother to be a part of our community. Okay, so we are 1,000 people in 100 communities that are committed to spreading health, well-being, and economic opportunity around organic superfood nutrition with 10 families each, right? So whether you are a mother, a daughter, a sister, a brother, an uncle, a caregiver, an influencer, an elder, we welcome you to our community. And we honestly are just grateful to have you here to learn more about this opportunity. So before we get into our presentation, we always open these calls up with our pledge. And I know Sarah, she jumped on early and volunteered to read our pledge. So Sarah, you should be able to unmute. If you can unmute, and please read for us.
Okay. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And if you could just take a few moments and share what exactly this pledge means to you and your family. Oh, I just asked you to unmute. Should be able to unmute now, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was that you were asking everyone to put it in the chat.
Oh, no, just you specifically. We'd love to hear what this pledge and this movement means to you and your family.
Well, I'm a caregiver, I'm a mom, and I'm a grandmother of two. So when my daughter was pregnant with one and had one running around, I was able to give her some of the superfoods that she needed. Mm-hmm. And then when her second came into, into being, to be able to have different things so that she would have flow with breast milk and everything else going on around her as a busy mom of two. And just for myself, I mean, Purium, it's my daily. I would say, well, yes, there's no day that I go without my shakes, my proteins. Yes, I am the example and I know it. I love it. I love Purium. Thank you.
Thank you so much for volunteering to read the pledge and sharing your story, and just bless you and your family. I know that caregiving is not easy. My mom has been a caregiver to her parents who passed away, and also my aunt. And it's a lot of stress on your nervous system. It's a lot on you emotionally. So I love that you've been sharing the superfoods with your family, also nourishing yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for your family. And paying it forward, because that's exactly what we're about, not just with the Million Mom Movement, but here with Purium, right? Is that family legacy to pass on this wealth of holistic health, as well as, the business opportunity too, which I'm going to share a lot about today. So thank you, Sarah, and we hope you can come back again and read for us as well and share your story. So, today's presentation, we are going to be highlighting our business opportunity, right? How you can leverage your unique skills, your strengths to work together and create change for our community, right? To create a better community and future for our world, right? So, I was actually inspired to title today's presentation about honoring and acknowledging our strengths because I believe that that is really the essence of community, right? Bringing our gifts together so that we can be of service. But what makes this opportunity unique, is specifically our income opportunity, is leverage. So as I move through this presentation, I just want you to keep in the back of your mind the word strengths and also the word leverage as I expand on exactly how you can really merge these two words together to fulfill the mission that we have here at Purium. So first I want to just start with strengths, right? It's been defined by dictionary.com as the inherent capacity to manifest energy, to endure, and to resist. Okay, so these are natural strengths. These are inherent gifts that we have, skills that maybe we have just developed over the years or just come innately. It's energy, and it is something that, skills that we may have just developed through previous jobs, experiences, through life, whatever, right? But I also like to think of our strengths as our gifts, right? I love this quote by Michael Beckwith. He says that you can ask yourself this question every morning when you wake up, right? What are my gifts and how can I share them with the world? And it always really stuck with me to remember, right, my uniqueness, to remember my value, to celebrate myself. I think sometimes just in society, especially even maybe growing up in school, we have been conditioned to focus on the areas that we are weaker in or that we might not be as strong in and what we need to improve on. And sometimes energetically, right, that can feel disempowering. We can sometimes forget what our gifts are, and we can forget that, we lose sight of that joy and that spark of what we're actually incredibly strong in. So also sometimes when we launch a business or do something new, our brain can tend to feel overwhelmed with what we don't know, especially like areas in the business that you might not be as strong in. Drop a one in the chat if you're a part of our community and you may have enrolled a new brand partner into this business and they feel hesitant because they don't know enough about the products, right? They say, oh, I need to research a little bit more. I need to study more to feel prepared, right? Yeah, Pamela says one. I've had people that I've introduced to this business that say the same thing. And a lot of times, it's just us forgetting our gifts, forgetting our mission, forgetting our story, and trying to fill in that gap of trying to think about the areas that we're not as strong in. So in order for us to really expand our mission, to truly stand in our power, we have to make, and because our mission is to be able to make the world a better place, we have to be in the state of feeling empowered. Now, of course, our superfoods really support us with that on an energetic level, right? Our superfoods nourish us and really help us tap into that vibration energetically. But we can also do that and mirror it by celebrating and expressing our gifts so that we can now lead from an empowered state of being. So I want to do a little short activity together. And I just want us to take a few minutes to write down what our strengths and our gifts are. Right? What do you feel you are the most strong in or confident in when it comes to this space? Now, I dropped a few of our core pillars, right? Which is health, wealth, community, and environment. And you can use that to just kind of create inspiration around what your strengths are as it pertains to these areas. And you can use these phrases as inspiration, but I would just love for you could drop them in the chat or you can write them down, on a separate sheet of paper. But we really want to celebrate our gifts today. So I'd love for you to drop in the chat and just take a few minutes to use these phrases and think about your strengths and your gifts and what you uniquely have that you can bring to this opportunity. So we'll take a few minutes and do that. Okay. So hopefully that gave you some time to just feel inspired about what your gifts are. Would anybody like to drop in the chat one of these phrases that they related to their own strengths, their own gifts? And I'll go ahead and share mine also. So I am an incredible mentor and leader. I love leadership. I've always loved everything about leadership and mentorship. I'm very strong in creating systems. I really love creating systems for people to feel successful and to follow. Also love working in community. Another one of my strengths, people usually come to me or they love coming to me for inspiration and problem solving. And I feel the most confident when I'm leading presentations and sharing stories. That's why I love this community and I love sharing here. So feel free, you can drop them in the chat. Don't have to be shy to share your strengths. We want to celebrate you. Beautiful. Okay. Shauna said, I'm incredible at the way I inspire others. I'm strong at making friends and relating stories. Oh, I love that. Yeah, making friends, relating stories. Everything here within our community is about storytelling. So that's great. Pamela says, people love coming to me for help with difficult things, right? Yeah. Same for me too. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. You can keep dropping them in the chat as they come to you. But the key here, right, is for us to be able to follow our highest excitement, right? Let that be your compass because it really is contagious, right? I mean, you can even think about how you felt writing these things down, thinking about your strengths and acknowledging yourself, right? It feels good. It feels good to celebrate yourself. I think sometimes when we are in this space, when it comes to holistic health and leadership and helping others, sometimes we get caught up with celebrating others and uplifting others and helping them, right? But let's come back to ourselves. Let's come home to what we are, powerful in and let that energy flow out to others, right? It's important to know who we are so we can share that. And I also just want you to know that there will be times, right, where you don't always feel excited or joyful, especially in business. I know that there's been plenty of times for me, especially over these past 5 years, where I have gotten in my head and really felt discouraged certain times. And my sister, she's actually my upline mentor. We're in business together here. And she always reminds me to come back to my joy, right? To come back to what I love, what my gifts are, and to use it almost as like my compass, right? My North Star, to come back and just review the moments in my business that I love the most or that I felt the most empowered. So if you ever feel, like you're in a state where you don't feel that encouraged or excited, come back to what your strengths are, come back to moments where you may have expressed them and really led with that energy because that will make you feel even more fulfilled and that energy will pour out into the people that we connect to. Wonderful. I'm just reading some more in the chat. Sheila said, I'm approachable and can connect with people. Pamela says, I'm incredible at loving on my friends. Clarice said, people come to me for advice and uplifting their spirit. Sarah, I'm incredible at creating safe spaces. Wow, that's beautiful, right? Creating a safe space here for people to feel, able to be vulnerable, right? Because a lot of what we go through, we have to feel safe in order to be able to express ourselves. So I love that that's something that you notice as a strength, Sarah. That's wonderful. Okay, so now that we have covered our strengths, right, now we want to focus on leverage. And this, I'll just go ahead and read, what it is. Leverage is using what you already have, whether it be resources, your position, relationships, skills, to create a bigger effect than you could by your own efforts. All right, so drop a 1 in the chat if you have experience as a solopreneur before, right? Maybe you had to wear all the hats. Maybe you had to do shipping, packaging, handling, customer service, marketing. I know there's a lot of people, right, in our community who have that experience and they come to this business model and they're like, what? I don't have to wear all those hats. I get to actually like work and collaborate with other people, which I'm going to explain a little bit more. But yeah, it can be exhausting and overwhelming, right? So also go ahead and drop a 3 in the chat if you have ever been a part of a team or, maybe at work where your efforts went unnoticed. I wonder if there's some people on here because that was definitely me. Maybe you were the one that was picking up the slack for everyone else without any recognition, acknowledgement, reward. Yeah, it's a lot of three, a lot of threes. That actually used to be me. So some of you know my story. I used to work at a restaurant as a hostess for a few years. And I was one of the most, efficient hostesses. My managers would always want me to work the busiest nights. I always worked Saturday nights, and Thursday nights were also really busy because they knew that if I was working, they could trust that the front of the house would run smoothly. And like I said earlier, I love leadership. I love community. I love working as a team. When we have a system to follow, it just feels fun to work together. But of course, my pay was not this was the same as everyone else, even though I was doing a lot of the harder work, right? A lot of the pressure was put on me. So when I found Purium, when I found this opportunity, the leverage aspect of this business was like the ultimate dream come true, right? I didn't have to leverage my efforts, my strengths alone to create income. And this is what honestly is so important for us to really lean on and to share this opportunity with, because so many families and so many people are experiencing, you know, transitions in their life, and they're looking for ways to create income and financial freedom. And this business model, because of the leverage aspect, is a dream come true for a lot of people, just like it was for me. And so because we can create leverage income here through partnerships, I really want to talk about the power of partnerships. Okay. So we can leverage the strengths of one another to fulfill our mission. And companies have been doing this forever. And especially now, a lot of more major companies are partnering together to create more expansion. So I have here a image of Kim Kardashian. She has a like shapewear underwear brand called Skims. And she's recently just like revolutionized the industry by partnering with the NBA. She's also partnered with the WNBA and the USA Olympics so that the sports houses and her brand Skims can collaborate and impact, a lot of athletes, and just kind of honestly change the culture around the sports industry when it comes to the sports and fashion, right? Just merging and leveraging their strengths and their gifts together. Now, obviously, Kim is a celebrity. She has incredible influence. So the NBA and, these partnerships are leveraging her brand. But that is no different than what we're doing here with Purium, right? We are in a strategic partnership with Purium, with Dave and Amy, right? We get to actually leverage their strengths. So you think about Purium's strengths, of the strength that Dave and Amy have, the vision that they had when they created this company, right? We get to leverage their knowledge in organic nutrition, their resources in regenerative farming, shipping, handling. I know a lot of people put a 1 in the chat saying that they were solopreneurs. So they had to kind of do all of the things that I know Amy is very adamant about running, corporate and handling all the quality control, the website development, et cetera. And they do all of this so that we can leverage our gifts, our strengths, and reach more lives, right? They need us to feel confident, to feel empowered, to be the best version of ourselves so that we can bring that value to this partnership. So our innate gifts are what really ripple throughout our community. And I just want you to just look at this visual, because this is a strategic partnership, right? This is an equally beneficial partnership. Our mission is to end human suffering physically and financially. So Dave and Amy need our gifts, our strengths, just as much as we need and love their, opportunity that they provided to us. But also with that, keeping that in mind with our strengths and our leveraging this partnership, I just want you to also remember that we are the transformation company, right? And there is no transformation without discomfort. So of course, we want to leverage our strengths. We want to be in the energy and the vibration of what we are good at, but we also want to recognize that when we're transforming, when we're evolving and growing, we're going to have to face challenges, right? We have to face the areas that don't feel as good, or that might, feel a little intimidating. But because we have this opportunity, because we have this partnership, we can really combine our gifts, our strengths together. We can leverage them so that we collectively can grow, so that we can face that discomfort without, or I guess we can face it more so with grace, right? From a place of love, from expansion and not feeling overwhelmed, because that's where a lot of people are. So when we're thinking about sharing this opportunity, right, we are supporting people through transformation. And we do that by leveraging our strengths and the partnership that we have with Purium. So whenever you are, growing out of your comfort zone, you can feel held by this company. You can feel held by your upline mentor, right? Their strengths, their vision, their wisdom that they bring. That is what you can use to support you. You can also feel supported by calls like this, right? We have our weekly events that you can plug into. We have corporate calls almost daily so that you can listen to someone else's story and feel inspired again during those moments that feel uncomfortable as you're growing and as you're transforming here, so that you can keep going and remember that, your strengths are needed to help others. So I wanted to just end with this quote that is actually from a book that I'm reading right now called The Creative Act. I don't know if anyone's ever read it before, by Rick Rubin. And he says, instead of focusing on what this opportunity will bring you, focus on what you contribute to this art to make it the best it could possibly be, right? With no limitation. And I think that sometimes with this opportunity, right, we are so excited to share it and we're so excited to help people, which is great, which is what we need. We need more people to know about this opportunity, to know about these superfoods. But we also don't want to lose sight on the fact that we bring so much value to it, that we really are the value, right? That we're bringing our gifts, our strengths to share it with others. So don't lose focus on what you contribute to this opportunity, because you are just as valuable as everything that, this partnership offers. So I just want to encourage you to honor your strengths, express them to their highest potential, to leverage this opportunity, this community, so that you can have your own transformation. Because, right, our stories, our gifts are also medicine for each other's own transformation too. So what are your gifts and how can you share them with the world? And I just want to go ahead and open it up for any feedback, any stories you would like to share of your own transformation journey, your strengths, how you incorporated them into this business opportunity, and what you love about it. Just any feedback. This is our community action call. So we love to hear from you and love to celebrate you. So if you'd like to share or ask any questions, feel free to raise your virtual hand and we can call on you. Hi, Pamela.
Hello. I just want to say I, I've been feeling quite, I don't know, discouraged, I guess is the word. And so I really need to hear all of this and to be able to look at my gifts and focus on that. And so thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Pamela. Yeah, I think it's important to be honest, right? When we're in business, we're doing something maybe necessarily new, but it's something like transforming ourselves here and leading. There will be times where we don't always feel the best, but like I said, this is your compass to come back to. And Pamela, you have an incredible story. It's so inspiring. So I love that, I think that one of your strengths and gifts is just being vulnerable and to share and not being afraid to. And I know it's been a journey for you too. So, just even you saying this right now, right? Being transparent. Angela said the same thing. So thank you for sharing. Anyone else like to share? Oh, hi, Carmela. It's so good to see you. You should. Oh, there we go. Oh, let me ask you one more time. Okay.
Thanks, Dominique. Wow, that was a really great breakdown. I loved so much. At first it was strengths and just bringing and drawing out some thoughts today. But then the second was leveraging. I loved how you laid out how we leverage our gifts. And what called to mind, when you were talking was Purium's a community that really encourages us all to live out loudly. Because when we heal, we shrink. And it's really unfortunate that the world doesn't feel empowered to heal, because that you have to be a blossom to heal. You have to feel invigorated from the inside. You have to build blood and chi and healthy energy and healthy surroundings, or else you won't heal. And so I'm tired of people shrinking. I will look around all the time and I say, you know, everyone's like not living, you know, they're on their phones too much too. And I'm like, look at each other. So I love that, you know, we get really encouraged. My kids always, at the dinner table, I tell them no phones, of course, right? Which is so important. And we're looking at each other, we're talking, and this is so crucial these times. We have to tell our families that we need time to just focus on us. And that's a strength that I think, like, I just always kind of see the simplicity of things. I never thought that that was a strength, because I always like to complicate my life. As I grew older, I realized I really want to simplify things, and actually like going back to basics and just true, you know, health again. And I had a lot of transformation points throughout my journey of 11 years. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just feel really called to share that part with you. But great presentation, and I want to bring these questions to my own team. This is a good talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So good to see you. And those of you who don't know Carmela, she is former council member, and I remember watching her lead these calls, and I was so inspired by her story and everything, even just what you shared today, right? We don't think about how we're growing and we're transforming in our business, how it takes blood and chi. I love that you mentioned that, right? Coming back to our body, because when we do have to grow and step into spaces that we're uncomfortable in, it does, like, our body has to grow through, our nervous system has to feel through it. And yes, our nutrition, our superfoods are what we use to help us leverage that growth of our own transformation and leadership. But like I said, yeah, bringing it back to the strengths to remind ourselves, like, just emotionally, how powerful we are, you know, to be able to share that. And I know I shared one of the things I've always loved, and I feel like a strength of mine has always been presenting and community and sharing. But when I first joined this council, I was, you know, a little nervous to share, and it was new to me. And I've grown so much over the past few months just sharing here and using this opportunity as a leverage for me to grow as a leader. So yeah, like Carmela said, you know, there's so many of us that are just kind of playing small, aren't really showing up. We're not sharing our gifts because we feel uncomfortable. We feel like we have to, we're just afraid to transform, right? So use this opportunity as a way to get out of your shell, and whatever that looks like, but to always come back to your gifts, because that is your anchor. So I'm glad this was helpful to you, Carmela, and can't wait to see you again. We have time for a few more questions if anyone would like to share. We'd love to hear from you all. Like we said, this is how we grow together, is when we hear each other's stories. So you can raise your hand if you'd like to just share a little bit about your story, what brought you here, and what you're inspired by to continue to grow. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, oh, thank you, Pamela. Oh, Unique. Wonderful. Welcome.
Hello. I was like doing things and I'm like, let me just be present. And yeah, I'm so grateful. Part of my upline is here, Carmela and Lauren, sisters, beautiful. So what brought me into Purium is one of my dear soul sisters, Kristen. She's also part of my upline. And it's also, I was called from my body. So I'm an intuitive practitioner. There's so many things, but just medium, Reiki, shamanism, all these things. And I've been vegan for about 7 years. And my heart was just really pulling me to something else. I kept getting like different channelings in, I'm doing so much, but I can do more. Like I can keep elevating my vibration. I can keep raising my frequencies. And I was like, okay, like, how can I do that? So I was like cutting out palm oil and all these other things and like things. And then I was literally down to like yogurt and broccoli. My body was just like kind of done. and I was still eating, but it was just so much, and everything around me has been transitioning. We've been remodeling my house. Um, my nan is literally right now going through a diffuse large B cell lymphoma aggressively. So everything with the glyphosate, the parasitics, like everything is very much, I'm on both ends, like the one of if you don't take care of yourself, like physically, spiritually, mentally, and then also on the upside, because I have my kids, I'm also a GG. So my nan is a great great nan. So there's like 4 generations in our house at one time. While my mom's over, it's 5. And to see, I've been, I'm on my 31 days in my ULT right now. I'm on my 4th day for my super cleanser, and the amount of real time transitions that I'm seeing and feeling within my body, on top of like within my family, is like mind blowing. And I have full body chills saying this. But I'm so grateful for listening to my guidance and trusting and my knowing, because I was in the calls for like about a couple months before I finally was like, fuck yes. And that's just how I am. So I don't apologize for that. Um, but I'm so grateful. And it's like literally everything is hitting me, and I feel like it's testing me, but I'm still sticking to trusting in my knowing and trusting in my body. And now on my body, over the weekend when I started my super cleanser, like I said, I've been vegan for 7 years, and my body was like, you should eat chicken. And I'm like, that is not me. Like, I know that's not me. So it's so interesting on a spiritual note how these parasitics are like literal entities that have been attached for my whole lifetime. And they're like really doing their best to keep me from my focus. And I love that Carmela brought that in as well. And it's so important, because without it, especially in times of now, I mean, the time is now. That's all I kept hearing. That's what I get almost every time I channel anymore recently. And I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful that I got on this call. I'm grateful for Carmela, every one of you who are doing this, because it's a collective energy that we're literally changing Mama Gaia. And I'm just honored to be here. And I am complete.
Thank you so much. We're honored to have you. And thank you for sharing your story. I know you're getting a lot of love in the chat. And I love that you mentioned, right, that we are here to uplift the Mother Earth, right, to take care of ourselves so that we can make a better future. And you're doing it. It is, I think Naiva said, it's a journey, not a destination. So just being grateful for wherever we are on this journey, and just reminding ourselves of, our power and our value, and to take it one step at a time. So thank you for sharing, and wishing you the best as you continue on your transformation journey and finish out your parasite cleanse, because it is definitely spiritual. So enjoy that. Thank you. And I see Anna, you have your hand raised. You should be able to unmute. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Just parked. Perfect timing. I'm just want a shout out to my upline. And before I say anything more, big heart hugs. I didn't know her name. I don't know her name because I was driving, but to the woman before me, big heart hugs to you and your family. Yeah. Um, moving forward, yeah, my upline is in the house, Sherry and Rachel. Super grateful to Sherry, who was an inspiration to follow on social media. So, we all relate to somebody, and I felt Sherry, and I totally, I followed her, and yeah, and what led me to her, and I even told her, was the simplicity. She didn't have to make everything. I laughed. Her house is darling, but I was telling her, you didn't have to, wait from Italy to get a backsplash, to make it pretty. You did it in your own way, and I could relate to that. You know, I would like to, yeah, emulate what she does. Make it, show our audience the simplicity of it, and you could do it anytime. And as a matter of fact, I think she was traveling. Her and her husband were traveling, so she really made it simple. And Rachel for all her knowledge, and Tracy, and I'm really enjoying the Zooms, learning a lot. I'm a listener observer. And yeah, so I'm grateful I parked. I wanted to come out here, even though I'm not on camera. I'm listening. I'm listening. And yeah, just super grateful. I just became brand partner. I want to say earlier this week. Yeah, I've been a year in with Purium. I gave myself, thank you everybody for the hearts and the love. I gave myself the gift of for my birthday of 2024. Yeah. In 2024, I turned 56. I know. So I've been on it a year and I'm now a year older. But thank you for finding for yeah, Purium. I'm really grateful. So I'm the person that reached out to me. So it takes a long time, people, because it took me a long time to get onto Purium. So don't, the other woman before me, having a hard time. It takes a while. It really does. I reached out. I'm a yoga instructor. So I reached out to my yoga community. It's a circle, ask questions. I had, I think I was 49 and I hadn't been on any supplements. Okay, back in the day, one took Centrum, vitamin Centrum, one a day. So at 50, I went to the supermarket. I'm like, you know what, Anna, you're not on any vitamins. It's year 50 or 49, I was around there. It's time. So I got the silver, Centrum silver, because I was in that bracket. And as I was purchasing them, I'm like, Anna, what are you doing? But I took them. I don't even think I finished them. They're still there. Um, and as I was asking questions in my yoga community, what supplements are you taking? So one lady reached out to me, hey, Anna, I'm a brand, she's taking the supplement Purium. She told me all about it. She sent me the link. I read it, believed in it. The price is what, what got me, but I believed in it. The ingredients and everything like that, I believed in it. And I knew I was going to purchase it one day. And I did not have a job at the time. And as soon as I got a job, my first paycheck, for my first, uh, consistent paycheck, I told myself, Anna, now that you have a consistent paycheck, invest. And the way Sherry put it, and now that I'm, experienced it for a year now, it balances out. The money does balance out. So, and I'm experiencing it. And yeah, I just want to come out and just say thank you, everyone. That's it.
Thank you, Anna. You're getting so much love in the chat, so definitely read.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Well, happy birthday, and also congratulations for investing in yourself, right? I definitely, health, I know you said you've been eating these superfoods and now, taking it to the next level to pay it forward to others. And I know that just after a year, like things continue to get better for sure. I know Naiva and Carmela have been part of this community for years, like a decade, and you continue to transform, you continue to become the best version of yourself. So definitely come back and continue to keep us updated on your journey and your business. And definitely, invite your community to learn more through these calls also, because, you've been able to, I love that you started your share off saying that you really watched the strengths that your upline had, right? Sherry, I believe you said her name was.
Mm-hmm.
Watching how simple she made this lifestyle, or how simply she shared this opportunity, because that is one of her strengths or one of her gifts. And that is what you saw and you resonated with. And now, you felt empowered to launch your business. So think about, your gifts and what you bring to that now inspire other people to, grow and partner with you in this business too. Because that's all we're doing is paying it forward. This is a lineage. And it started with Dave and Amy and their vision. And now here we are continuing to pay it forward. And it doesn't matter the time or any of that. It's just really your heart and how you feel. So thank you, Anna, for sharing. Okay, well, if no one has any other stories or testimonials, we'd like to just show how you can stay connected to us and come back and learn more about our opportunities. So I'm going to share my screen and show how you can stay connected. So you want to go ahead and as soon as I share my screen, take a screenshot of this image to stay connected. And when you take a screenshot, there's also a little QR code on this slide that, well, you can click a link and go directly to our YouTube channel. If you've not checked out our YouTube channel, we have thousands of videos over the years, over the past 5 years, of these calls. So anything you're looking for, you can use to leverage and share with your community. We have a ton of different testimonials, all different health challenges that people are experiencing, real testimonials from people. You can listen to those and, share those. Definitely follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Naiva runs our Facebook group and just provides a lot of resources. You can also see a lot of our events that are coming that you can use and share with your community also. And we encourage you to join us next Thursday. Every third Thursday of the month, we highlight autism. And next week, we're going to be talking about epigenetics. And we also are going to highlight, which I know Dave Sandoval covered last night, but our new biohack pack when it comes to neurodiversity. So join us next Thursday. And then the fourth Thursday, the last Thursday of September, we're going to be highlighting family health and specifically just targeting, it is Childhood Cancer Month, Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to be targeting just how you can really nourish your family and support your body in detoxing glyphosate through biomedical superfoods that we have, and just how glyphosate has been linked to cancer and a lot of just terrible diseases that people are living with. So definitely take a screenshot of this so you can join us, and we will be here next Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And then also, if you're a guest and you're ready to launch your Purium business, you want to learn more about what that looks like, you're going to get back to the person who invited you to this call. They will support you in ordering your superfood pack and enroll as a brand partner. They also have a gift card code for you so that you can save money off on your first purchase. You'll be directly linked to them, and they will be your mentor and your guide that you can leverage to support you in launching your business. Definitely want to start sharing immediately, right? While you're on this call and you've been listening to the stories of people who raised their hands, I'm sure you've thought of someone in your community and your network that you resonate with, or that maybe you would want to do partner in business with. You want to go ahead and just reach out to them and stay in that energy and just say, hey, I got on a call that I loved hearing these testimonials. I think you would love to be a part of it with me, right? You don't have to know everything, but just share your heart, share your excitement. And then, lastly, definitely plug into our community, our Thursday calls, as well as all of Purium Corporate offers weekly that you can use and leverage as your resource. So thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you so much. And we see you again next week. Have a great night.